are muted. Fixing that right now. Try that again. Dark greetings, y'all.
Dark greetings. I was panicking. I was like, no, not again.
After some technical difficulties last night, we are here once again to talk about the next 3 episodes, episodes 4 through 6 of Vinland Saga. Let me actually get my microphone a little closer here.
More anime.
More anime hours indeed. Our favorite hours often here on the network, or at least this portion of the network.
Yes, I found my Ryuk Feelin' Fruity sticker.
You have a matching sticker?
What? Yeah, I got 2 of them at the time.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I also have a few Chainsaw Man ones sitting here that...
I didn't know we matched.
Yep. I just haven't done anything with it yet. I never know where to put stickers.
I have a lot of designated places to put stickers, so I don't have much difficulty. But shall we dive right in with episode 4, A True Warrior?
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh boy.
Yeah, we ended on a cliffhanger, sort of, last week.
And we ended on another sort of cliffhanger this week. They always want to draw you in for the next episode, so that I feel like this is kind of going to be a theme. But,
yeah. Although I feel like this time wasn't as bad as last time.
It wasn't quite as bad. I feel like I always lead the discussion on our stream, so I'm going to turn that over to you for this week, Bestie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I feel like such a conversational steamroller, and I want to try not doing that. Although I do have not a ton of notes, but like a decent amount, I think. A fair amount for the amount of TV that I watched.
Yeah, I feel like I took way more notes than last week for some reason.
Oh, well then perfect. Fucking hit me with it, Bestie.
Which, I don't know why, but yeah, so we had left off last week where the pirates who had been hired to kill Thor's were attacking, and so Thor's decides that he's going to just take them on by himself, which I think this makes it very clear why Floki hired somebody to kill him.
Because Thor's is fucking powerful.
Because he's like a freaking coward. Like, he's like, there's no way, I'm going to lose all my men.
Which, yeah, one, he knows this because, again, Thor's is a brick shithouse.
Yeah. And he wouldn't necessarily have any way of knowing that Thor's wasn't going to kill them.
This is true.
Probably assumed he would just, like, lose all of his men. It's, like, better to lose, like, 10 pounds of gold or whatever it was than all of that. So yeah. I think it definitely shows him as a coward.
Yeah, definitely. Although I will say that Berserker Bjorn at least made the most formidable enemy of the group of people that we had.
Yeah, it was so funny, like, because he literally took out every guy with a single hit, but then he shows up on the Berserker mushrooms, and I'm like, oh, now it's going to be a challenge. No, it took 2 hits.
I mean, the most formidable of the enemies, but still.
But it killed me. And I thought it was interesting that Thor's caught on pretty quickly that not only were they hired, but that they were hired by Floki in particular.
Yeah, he cottoned on to what was going on very quickly.
Yeah, I think that connects to some of what we were talking about last week. You know, because I think I had said last week that I just had a feeling that when they were sitting there in the village talking, like, Thor did not trust anything Floki was saying and knew that it was kind of a setup.
Which, like, shocker.
Yeah. Yeah. But just immediately right off the bat. So then Thor's challenges Askeladd to a duel, thinking that's going to save.
I will say, when there was one thing, when Thor's, like, jumps onto the ship when it looks like the pirates are going to, like, Thorfinn looking up at him with just, like, such admiration. I hate real children, but fictional children, there's so many fictional children that I love so much. I'm just like, oh my god, this is so sweet.
It is nice, but it's heartbreaking at the same time, because in a lot of ways he's admiring the wrong things.
He is, but he's also a 6-year-old boy, so, like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a good move challenging Askeladd to a duel. Like, at least the rest of the men are protected in some way like that, because like, you know, there's a very strong honor code amongst Vikings, even shady Vikings such as these pirates.
Yeah. Yeah, because in his mind, there's no way he's going to lose, so then everybody else will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rather than risking having to fight all those people and potentially lose. You know.
Mm-hmm. And as much as Thorfinn is very cute, now is not the time, kid.
No, kid does not know how to read a room.
Not even a little bit. Which again, 6, but
Yeah.
Oh my god, I feel like the vibes could not be worse. I feel like even a 6-year-old could sense bad vibes.
Yeah, and he's not a real 6-year-old. He's an anime 6-year-old.
Yeah, so like, there's a difference.
Which is more mature generally than real life 6-year-olds.
Generally. And the way the battle plays out between Thor's and Askeladd, like Thor's obviously very strong, kind of the juggernaut, but Askeladd is very fast and very cunning.
Yeah,
and he plays dirty.
I was gonna say, yeah, the very first thing he does is essentially a dirty trick. It's like, oh, let me rely on the element of surprise rather than my actual skill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just.
I thought in the actual, like from an actual technical animation standpoint, I thought the fight choreography was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the amount of things that one would have to keep straight in your mind, like going through the process of animating a duel like this that's as fast-paced and complicated as it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I imagine at this point they have a lot of software that's really helpful with that sort of thing.
Which, yeah, but still, I was still very impressed.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but I think him starting off with a trick in the duel, Askeladd, like that didn't really inspire much confidence in me that things were going to proceed.
No, but that shows that Askeladd has. We know exactly what type of person he is from the very beginning, and nothing is going to change that.
Although I would argue he's a very complex person.
Based on what happens in the later 2 episodes that we're talking about, I'm definitely going to agree with you there. But I also, he's very complex, but I don't think he hides any part of himself at the same time. Like, what you see is what you get. He's very sly and cunning and will do whatever it takes to give himself the advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, but technically, too, he does honor the agreement.
Which, again, honor code being the thing that it was among Vikings, I wasn't necessarily that surprised by it. I figured he might find some way to, he might find a loophole, but he would technically still be keeping his word because that's such an important thing.
I mean, in a way, the loophole was, he technically already won the duel, so we can just outright kill him now.
Yeah, which fucked up, but we'll get to that in just a second. Because Thor does technically win.
He does win in a very badass way. I actually rewound and rewatched the part where he knocks Askeladd's sword out of his hand and grabs it with his other hand.
Yeah, that was good.
That was pretty cool.
I will say though, this is one trope that yes, it's honorable, but I'm kind of sick of it. I really kind of hate when characters refuse to take drastic measures in life or death situations. If he killed Askeladd right there, none of this would have happened.
Yeah. Although I think there wouldn't be an entire series. I think.
Which, it gives us a story.
Yeah. I know that Askeladd turns out to be a prominent character
in
the series, So there is that, but I know what you mean. I do get tired of it. It's just stupid.
Mm-hmm. I did kind of have this moment where obviously this was a quote unquote, it did turn out to be a joke, but I was like, what the fuck is Askeladd playing at, asking almost genuinely, it sounds like for a second, asking Thor's to lead them. Maybe if you just get him to come back to the Jomsvikings, he gets out of the situation with all his money and with as much of his stuff intact as he possibly can.
Well, but they're not the Jomsvikings. They're just pirates.
They're just pirates, but I don't know, lead us and we'll return to the Jomsvikings or something like that.
Mm.
Or just, trying to turn the situation as much to his advantage as humanly possible.
I don't think he was joking. I think in a way he was
that's the thing. Yeah.
He He was like, you defeated the current captain, shouldn't you be the captain? Like, I thought that was like a basic rule of whatever that barbaric stuff is.
Yeah, pirate rules, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But the tides turn quickly.
Yeah, I mean, what a badass death, though. He got hit by, I think it was 10 arrows?
Yeah. Which, yikes, that's fucking traumatic.
And he didn't even go down. He was just standing there talking normally.
Yeah, Thor's the troll indeed. But your prediction was right that Thorfinn was going to watch his father die in a very traumatic way.
Yeah. Yeah, which it's one of those things where it's like, I knew he was going to die. Like, that was a given. Like, that was obvious that everything was going. But at the same time, I was like so much more upset than I thought I would be because only 4 episodes with this character and I got so attached.
I know. He's just, he's a good guy.
Yeah, even when Thorfinn's like hugging him as he's like, filled with arrows, and he's like, well, I'm glad you were here to say goodbye. I died a little inside.
That shit hurted.
Yeah, so it was extra hard. It would have been easier to just see him go down. Although I will point out,
if it was just like an episode 1, get this story rolling type of death, but we had to get to know him as like a genuinely very great dude.
Yeah, which I will point out, we don't actually see him go down at any point.
Which I think is that not even more poetic? Like, you never truly see Thor's the troll go down in battle.
Well, there's a little part of me that's just gonna hold out hope that somehow he's not actually dead.
Sure, we can do this again.
Oh, it's gonna be like another shorter?
Mm-hmm.
Although we did technically see shorter go down.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
also,
I think it's very telling that they didn't show him go down. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. This is neither here nor there, but I did have a moment of like, I see we drop F-bombs in this show. Because Ascalon calls somebody like a fucking brat or like a dumb fucking kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. Hello. We're talking about Vinland Saga. I hope you're an anime fan. I'm going to guess that's a possibility judging by I'm testing myself here, hiragana in your username. This is a YouTube chat, not a Twitch comment.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see the little symbol.
But yeah, so spoilers for that. We're talking about episodes 4 through 6 of Vinland Saga. We just started this one. And we are towards the end of episode 4.
Yep.
So moving right along with that, God, I do feel so bad for Thorfinn.
Yeah, which, like...
Sweet baby boy, you didn't deserve this.
He's 6 years old, just watches his dad get killed.
Yeah, Vinland Saga is the best. Hell yes. Very exciting. We are definitely... I have finished it. We have not, so no spoilers on our end, please.
Yeah, we just started this last week, 3 episodes a week, so we're on 4 through 6.
Continue with what you were saying, Bestie.
But yeah, he just watches his dad get killed, and then I feel like they do have this tendency to yada 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 over things a little bit.
Because for a second, I thought they killed all of Thor's men except for Thorfinn. When they were like towing the boat behind them, which I was incorrect about. But again, they did sort of just be like, yeah, and then this happens. Like,
yeah, exactly. Okay. It's like, wait, so did none of the other villagers notice that Thorfinn was missing? Did they look for him? I don't know any of that stuff.
Which we do find out, yes, there's some concern, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. But it's kind of interesting, like, what happened in the in-between in there. But Thorfinn is mad.
Thorfinn is big mad. I have never seen an anime character... I have never seen an anime character this young be this level of big mad.
Those adult men were, like, scared of him.
Which, I mean, they probably should be.
Oh.
They definitely should be.
Especially given what he turns into.
Oh, God, yeah. So this kind of does bring us to episode 5, The Troll's Child. We're heading towards England, apparently.
Yeah.
And again, I've written down, I hate real children, but I feel so protective of this fictional child.
It's a lot easier when they're...
Yeah, it's a lot easier when they're not real. And I will say, though, fuck Askeladd big time. Like, that's a child, and you're just leaving him to fucking almost die of thirst on an empty ship.
Yeah. I feel very torn, because on the one hand, that's, like, it's a child, right? But on the other hand, Vikings.
Yeah, they were a very survival of the fittest people.
Yes. And he does, so, I mean, that's what matters in the end.
Also, Jesus Christ, 6 years old and he almost killed a guy.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the rest of that sentence later.
Yeah.
But just watching that, I was like, oh wow, like this is what we're doing, huh? Not that that's a bad thing. I kind of like when shows are willing to quote unquote go there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a subscribe. I want to see your reaction to what's coming. Thank you so much. That will make you our actually, I'm not sure what the count is for
on YouTube.
Big Dumb Monsters subscribers on YouTube. You can subscribe to the Big Dumb Monsters Network. That's all of us. And if you want to see more of just the two of us, that is Fighting with Friends podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, all those fun places. But hell yes, thank you so much. That is really appreciated. But Askeladd was awake for this.
Oh, when he's creeping on him in the night.
Mm-hmm.
So my two initial thoughts at the beginning of this episode, first of all, this island is very pretty. Very, like, idyllic and the pretty flowers. And it's like...
Yeah, like all these...
Yeah.
And again, I keep coming back to this because it's so very similar in vibe. It has the same design as, like, Whiterun in Skyrim.
Mm.
Like, it's based on these, like, real Nordic countries and like these real, like, you know, island countries.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting because it is such a pretty place, and there's these villagers, living these happy lives, and then, like, the juxtaposition of what comes.
Of just barbaric violence.
Yeah, but so he's going through the beautiful trees and flowers and all those things, and then, you know, creeps up on the camp where everybody's sleeping, and I actually said out loud, yes, kill them all in their sleep. Like, so excited.
Yeah, again, like, go there. I'm glad that they did. Although that sword probably weighs as much as he does. Oh, yeah, no. I have a hard time believing he could even lift a Viking sword. Yeah, probably not. I mean, he has his dagger, though. He still could. I think it still would have, like, again, it's an anime. It's not that it truly matters, but I was like, that sword probably weighs as much as he does. And I think it would have had the same impact if it was him, like, poised with the dagger, especially because it was his father's dagger. Yeah. Yeah. Very poetic in a way. But after this, and where we find out that, one, Askeladd knew, and he's 6 years old. He challenges a full-grown fucking man to a duel in front of an army. A small army, but an army. Again, complete lack of awareness. Complete and total, but I kind of love him for it. Yeah, I mean, you can't really expect rationality. He's on a vengeance quest, and I am kind of behind him 100%. Yeah. Like... Yeah, but his brain is so undercooked at this point. Like, he doesn't have the ability to, like, rein in his impulses and think it through. And like, full-grown adults probably wouldn't in that situation. So, like, who can blame him? He's had some time to think about it while dying of thirst on a boat. So it's not like... I think that would just make you angrier. I don't know. But then we still don't have a name for the village where Thorfinn is from, but we know it's Iceland, so we cut back to Iceland, where Ylva takes the news shockingly well, at first at least.
Oh yeah, no, it was obvious that she was just like pretending.
Repression.
Yeah, just like nope, we're just not gonna think about that for now.
But also, she is crazy fucking strong too.
Yeah. By the way, I looked it up. She's 16 at this point.
Okay, that tracks.
I was very careful on the Vinland Saga wiki. Like went straight to her character page and scrolled ever so slowly. I saw her age.
Big mood.
It's like, don't you dare like tell me she's dead or something.
Nope, don't want to know. Nope. But yeah, I really do feel bad for her. She is going through it privately.
Well, yeah, now with her, mother being ill, she has to do everything that her dad did and her brother did. The work of 3 people.
Yeah, so yikes.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how much of the story, like how often we're going to cut back to her, because I do find her character pretty compelling.
Yeah, no,
little that we've seen of her thus far.
Yeah, I do think that we'll at least get a decent amount of her, just because of the number of times we've cut back.
Yeah, and that I would say I'm excited for. Mm-hmm. But when we return to England and Thorfinn desperately trying to survive on his own, starting this anime, I knew I was gonna I knew this was one of the dark, mature one. Thorfinn's sister, yes, Ilva. But I knew this was going to be one of the kind of dark, mature, Attack on Titan type vein animes. Mm-hmm. But I sure didn't expect to see a 6-year-old child kill a wolf.
Yeah, no, that was a lot.
But also at the same time, I think it kind of shows he's a survivor.
Yeah,
when he's faced with a situation where it's either kill or be killed, he's going to kill, no matter even if he is a tiny child.
I think I probably would have died in that situation.
Oh, same.
I would have overthought it too. I would have been like, what if I do it this way? Then he might bite my arm, and then if I kill him, I'm still maimed, and how am I going to survive? And then I'd just be dead.
For a second, I was wondering if he was going to give him the bones, and he would have a cool wolf.
What?
Because he had the bones that he was sucking the marrow out of, and then he fell asleep by his little fire, and I was like, oh my god, is he going to have a cool fucking wolf companion? But I think this is an even more serious. This is too serious of an anime to have an animal companion.
Yeah, no, it's that's too pleasant.
Yeah,
to have a pet.
And I like the little montage of him learning to throw the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Which pays off because he almost gets Askeladd.
I know, man.
Real close.
Frustrating.
He is fucking persistent. I will give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we glossed over any of your notes for episode
5? No.
Before we move on to episode 6?
Nope.
This was the keeping Thor's voice actor as narrator for the little history lesson. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, that's my
also the little history lesson was very helpful.
My very first note was just, ooh, a history lesson.
I still might have to Google some things from time to time because I am not an expert on medieval. This is probably pre-medieval. I don't even know my eras off the top of my head.
I don't know. It's the year 1006, I think it is.
To the openings and endings. Don't watch the original video. Just try to see the lyrics video. Put that on the back burner. But yeah, the little history lesson was helpful. Still might have to Google some things, but whatever.
Yeah.
We have a surprise attack situation.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yikes, that's not good.
Yes.
Although Askeladd does this, he's a complex character because he does kind of save Thorfinn.
He does. He outright saves him. That kid was gonna die.
Which I'm kind of wondering what he wants to get out of keeping Thorfinn alive, because clearly he thinks he can get this isn't a guy who does something because it's the right thing to do. He does something because he thinks it'll benefit him and him or like his circle in some way.
Yeah, my interpretation was that he sees potential in Thorfinn to become like this great warrior and to be a potential.
Oh, we got another person chatting on YouTube. Hello, we're talking about the first, or not the first anymore. We're talking about episodes 4 through 6 of Vinland Saga, which we just started watching, and we're currently up to episode 6. We just started talking about that one. So,
yeah.
Spoiler warning for you and reverse spoiler warning for us. If you have seen the entire series, please don't tell us what happens past episode 6. We have to watch the next 3 for next week.
Yeah, which is, it's hard to hold back, but we're doing it.
Oh, it's always a struggle. Anyway.
But yeah, I think he's intentionally, like, he sees this potential in Thorfinn for him to become like a great warrior like his dad was. Mm-hmm. And I think he wants that challenge because I think he's gotten to a point where a few people pose a challenge to him.
Yeah.
And he's sort of intrigued by that.
He seems like he's been coasting on reputation and amount of resources for a while, having his little band of pirate, especially having Bjorn on his side as well, who seems like, for the most part, aside from Thor's, he could kind of plow through any problem that you put in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this is just something, basically he's bored.
Wow, big Ryuk energy, just nowhere near as fun.
Yeah. Ryuk.
Here's something I sure didn't expect to see. He's fucking 6 years old, he just killed a guy.
Imagine how embarrassing it would be to be killed by a 6-year-old.
Can you fucking imagine? No, I cannot.
Like, telling his family, oh, how'd he die?
He got got by a child.
Just jumped on him.
That is an incredibly embarrassing way to die, but also,
so
my god, what a dark fucking scene. I'd cry in the afterlife. Same.
I felt like secondhand embarrassment for all these people.
Oh, wait, we can show YouTube comments on stream too. Hell yeah. Did not know we could do that.
Yeah, but on the other side of it, like, imagine killing somebody at 6 years old.
Yikes.
Like, not accidentally, intentionally. I can't.
I pretend I do not see it.
Like, that will mess you up.
And it clearly messes him up on impact.
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
It's a very dark scene.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
As much as we're here making jokes about it right now, I was watching that just like mouth hanging open, like, holy fuck, that just happened.
Just throws his head back and screams.
Like, and I kind of, it feels like that moment was both a, oh wow, this feels bad, but also now I have a taste for blood, because we have this little montage of him, you know, like learning to dual wield the daggers, becoming like a little mini warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that first guy he killed kind of told him, like, okay, I can do this. Mm-hmm. Like, I had this in me, and it's not that
whether or not I quote unquote like it, it's not as hard as
I'm capable of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I am not, personally.
Oh no,
I could never. I would just let them kill me.
No, I would not survive as a Viking.
Oh God.
I would be a terrible Viking.
I'd be out there. Can't we just be friends, guys? Can't we just have a drink? Like,
but anyway, I like the montage.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it gave you like it didn't gloss over too much. It gave you enough information while still like moving time forward in the narrative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we finally have a brief escape from Ascalon.
Where he goes to scout? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. I think so.
That's what I'm trying to verify.
I watched this yesterday, but I
Same.
watched it all in succession. So some of the episodes
Same.
I'm like, was this in 5 or 6?
Yeah, no, that's why I usually watch it the day we do the stream, because then it gets fuzzy in my head. Now it's, since we're doing it a day late. But he basically just becomes one of the pirates.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like, what else is he gonna do? I guess find his way home.
I find his character extremely compelling, and I find myself thinking, like, at the same time, like, one, it's all he fucking knows. What else is he gonna do? And two,
Yeah.
Thorfinn, honey, you're better than this.
Yeah, although this is 6 years that pass.
Mm.
He's with them for 6 years. He's 12 at this point.
Yeah, so like that's why, because like
that's half his life.
That's half his life, and you don't remember much
from the first 6. Yeah.
Yeah, for the I mean, I'm sure the horrific memory of his father dying in a volley of arrows, I'm sure that one sticks out, but everything else before that is probably getting a little blurry at this point.
Yeah, I don't think I remember anything before like maybe 5 or maybe 4.
I have my earliest memories. I'm not sure if they're dreams or not. They might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they ask him to scout ahead in the village, and then he gets attacked.
And then he gets attacked, and very briefly taken in by they never get names, but these 2 English women.
Mm-hmm.
Who he can barely understand.
Yeah.
He only knows a little English, which tracks if he's been helping the Viking, like on the side of the Vikings and the Danes, fighting against the English for 6 years now.
Yeah, which, like, not to be in the politics of ancient, like, whatever, but like, the way that the Vikings keep talking about the English like they're the aggressors, and it's like, but you slaughtered them and took their land. I mean, not to defend the English, because, you know, for obvious reasons, but like the way they just kept saying it, like, how dare they attack us? And it's like,
I will say that English woman did have a point about how the king snapped and just started killing all of the Danish people in England. It was like, yeah, what did you expect? And to not be pissed?
Yeah, that is a bit much. Although I really liked her, and I feel like she's a lot like Thorfinn's dad.
I loved this little interlude. I think it's going to have a massive impact on Thorfinn, as it should, frankly.
Yeah.
Because she protected him, which is so sweet.
Mm-hmm. So she takes care of him. He brings fleas into their home, which upset me greatly. I have had fleas in my home. They must have come in on a shoe. Yeah, it still haunts me to this day, even though it's been like 8 years. But so when the soldier comes by and asks if she's seen this kid, and she says, well, this is my son, John, we find out that's her actual dead son's name.
Mm.
And I think a little part of it, too, is her wanting to pretend that her son is back.
Yeah.
So it's partly protection, but I think it's also, there's something in it for her, too.
Because when he runs away, she calls him John.
Yeah, I thought about that, but she also doesn't have anything else to call him.
This is very true.
Yeah, but, you know, the way that she basically just said, like, a kid shouldn't be like this. Who cares if he's Danish?
And she's completely right. It does not matter if he's technically the quote-unquote enemy. He's like this for a reason, and that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. No, he... that's why
this is the only thing he knows, so at least he tried to warn them.
Yeah.
So, like, and he even tried to warn them again.
Yeah, although I don't think he did a very good job.
He didn't do a very good job, which... this is where, like, I find myself so torn between, this is literally all he knows, of course he's like this, and you're better than this.
Yeah, but, like, at the very least, this woman who protected him and took care of him and did all these nice things for him, he could have at least said, Vikings coming.
He could have. This is very true.
And then they would have known it and hopefully, made tracks. But instead, just the vague warning of get out of here. Oliver.
Down 3 teeth.
Oliver? They took his teeth?
They took his teeth.
Oh, you're like your cousin now. Although she only lost 2.
Like his cousin. I didn't even get charged an extraction for one of the teeth because when they were irrigating his mouth, it just went.
Yep, that's what happened to hers. They didn't have to pull them. They just kind of fell out when they touched them.
Thank you. This is Oliver.
He is a menace to all who know.
He's a menace to society.
He sure is.
Little boy.
He is a gremlin, but he's a sweet little gremlin.
And now hopefully his genetic gingivitis, hopefully we've broken that cycle.
Hopefully.
You were a good boy, weren't you? The vet tech was amazed that you walk on a leash. Hi.
He is experiencing something.
He's being so calm because he was on drugs yesterday.
He's still not normal?
He's been pretty chill today, and I think that's just because mouth ouchie.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's got to recuperate. I'm sure it was exhausting for a little guy.
This is the longest I've held him up to the camera like this.
Well, he's not so much up to the camera as
well, not anymore.
Bud, you seem very drugged. Oliver, I know you can't hear me.
Come off it. Hi.
Oliver.
The people want to see you.
Hi.
He is enjoying his time.
It's weirding me out, frankly. He's just
look at his face.
He's just so calm.
You're being so photogenic. They also shaved his little arm, so now he has this little chicken leg patch.
Yep.
Hi. Are we done? Oh, hello.
Not the headphones, bud.
I have been blessed, I think.
What a strange little guy.
You're a very strange. What do you want? You jumped up here. I need you to make a decision. Okay, bye.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your drugs.
Oh. Anyway.
Completely lost where we were. Oh, we were talking about him warning the woman.
I liked the way they animated the old woman sort of the disappearing in the crowd.
Yeah.
That was...
She did.
She definitely did. Very impactful. And I'm hoping that this sort of rights his path. I'm assuming it will.
I don't think it will, because that led to probably the like most upsetting part of the series so far to me, where he's looking at her and you can tell that he's like, oh my God, what am I doing? He's like, looks upset. And then he's just like, never mind, I'm over it.
Back to killing.
Yeah. So I think like he just repressed that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think there's going to have to be something bigger further down the line, or an accumulation of things.
Yeah. When you put it like that, that does unfortunately make the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was hard. I was like, oh yes, this nice woman, this empathetic woman, she really touched his heart. Maybe he's gonna... Nope. Okay.
Nope.
That did not happen. Yeah, he could have tried harder.
He definitely could have tried harder. But for this little batch of episodes, do we have anything else to say before we get into a little bit of promo and wrap things up?
No, I don't think so.
I continue to be excited to see where things go. I really like this series, and I get the feeling that it's just going to keep getting more compelling.
Yeah, and as hard as I tried not to see any information when I was looking up like ages yesterday, a lot of the characters, like, it showed many pictures of them. And I know we're taking a major journey through time. I just don't know how quickly it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to see older teenage and adult Thorfinn at some point. It's just a matter of over how many episodes we have to wait to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be kind of interesting to see if we dwell for a while. Or given we only had the 6-year-old Thorfinn for
3 episodes, 3 or 4 total.
5, right? Because it wasn't till
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
like 5.
Yeah, it wasn't until episode 6. I mean So maybe
we shall see how long we stick with 12-year-old Thorfinn. All right, so what do we got going on? Defenestration Hour tonight on the Big Dumb Monsters Network on this same YouTube channel at 9:30. If anyone likes talking about fucking cheesy action flicks, I'm not sure what the movie is, but there will be a stream. You can subscribe to the Big Dumb Monsters Network YouTube channel. You can subscribe to Fighting with Friends podcast on YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, all that fun stuff, because we will be back on Wednesday for our regularly scheduled programming, where we will be talking with EDM artist Who is Silas. So that's going to be exciting. Our first guest of 2025. Yay.
Yeah, it's just to clarify for those who haven't joined us before, we do live podcast episodes on Wednesdays.
Yes.
Our live stream is normally on Thursday nights at 8 p.m., but we had technical
issues last night.
Yeah, so as we continue discussing Vinland Saga, it's going to be on Thursdays at 8.
So we hope you will tune back in, because I'm sure it's going to be a wild ride for all involved.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to our first-time chatters. That is freaking awesome. We really appreciate that. And we hope we will see you again next week. Adios, everybody.
Later, guys.